Get your Detroit DIY apparel today. Check out the store in the link provided in the description. Thank you. This is a nice wide 48-inch sliding window. However, it's pretty short. So we're going to replace it with a window that's a little bit longer. The nail fin is underneath this wood. So I got to get all this stuff off and get this window out. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Dirdorf and this is Detroit DIY. Let's get started. So this cottage has vertical siding, and that's what these are all about. These are nailers for the vertical siding. So unfortunately, the way they put the windows in, I have to pull all this off to get to the nail flange to remove it. So we're going to start pulling it off right now. We got some rot, a little bit of rotten wood here. Of course, what do I find? Alright, one piece down, a whole bunch more to go. Because there's a material shortage here, I'm not able to buy this builder board. I'm not even able to buy 1/2-inch plywood without running to possibly Home Depot an hour away. So I'm trying to save this. I have saved it. I've got all the nails out and I'm ready to get this window out of here. So it's nailed in with this flange on the outside edge all the way around. So I'll pop these out and this window will be out. Last nail. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a little hung up down there. There we have it. And once again, newspaper for insulation, all soaking wet. Alright, I'm going to finish getting this builder board off and then we're going to lower this opening. I've got all the builder board off and I'm getting ready to cut these lower studs right out of here, and then I'll just build them back in the new height. The window opening used to be larger than it currently is, and someone's put a piece in here to make it this size. So the header actually runs over into here, and the stud and the jack post or stud are over in this area right here. So I have no issues cutting this out, and then I'm going to put a 2x4 back in here behind this builder board and put another one right here, so I'll have a nailer for both pieces. Let's get cutting. Now that I've got them out, I want to cut it right down through here. Like that. Now this piece is ready to come out. Now it's ready to come out. Now that the sill is out, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. It's two pieces. I want it one piece. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out, and then we can start rebuilding. Alright, I'm going to tidy up a couple of these nails. We're going to start building it back. The first thing I want to do is replace this 2x4, or actually put one in here that's never been in here before. And I'm hoping it's going to be nice and snug. Got the top in place, I'm going to put a couple screws in to hold it so that it doesn't shift when I knock the bottom in, because I really have no way to get behind it and knock it back out. I have 2 screws in from the top. Now I just want to run one in this way, and I'm using Spax construction screws. They're very good screws. They're not a sponsor, they didn't give me anything, but they're good screws. I like them. I've never had one break while installing. That bad boy's in there. Now I'm going to get some screws in the bottom. I'm going to make sure it's plumb, and then I'm going to get it screwed in plumb and square, because I don't want to have any issues getting this window in this opening. Now that I've got that installed, I'm going to measure down from my header 36 inches on both sides and get that marked out. That is the size of my rough opening. Once I have this marked out, I can add 1.5 inches to that. And my sill board will be right here. So I'm going to get the other side measured out. Then I can measure up from my bottom plate and get these pieces cut to put in on both sides that the sill will sit on. I've got both of the jacks cut from my sill, so I'm going to go ahead and get them screwed into place. Now that them are screwed into place, I'm going to get my sill cut. The window opening is extremely out of square. Now that I've got the sill in, it's really my first opportunity to get a square in there and try to check things. I selected a pretty nice straight 2x4 for this sill, and what I am seeing is that the header is about 1/4 inch out of being level. So I'm going to cut a piece of wood and hammer it in there and try to force that header down 1/4 inch, so at least I have a level header to work with. And then once I get that squared up, I should be able to get everything else squared up. Got the header leveled, and here's what I did. I cut the 4 nails through here that were holding the header in place, and I put this piece in to push it down that 1/4 inch. I'm also out of plumb on this stud, so I'm going to cut it loose at the bottom and knock it plumb until I get a square corner here, and then I'll have something to work with. Okay, here's where I'm at. This was also not plumb. I should have checked all of this before I ever started and made sure that the header was good and these existing studs were good. Sometimes I assume that, you know, if you got a window opening, you have a level header and plumb studs, but that is not the case. So this was extremely out of plumb by 1/4 inch. So what I did was put 2 screws in here. I can't get behind it to try and knock it over with the hammer. So with those 2 screws, I just use my pry bar and pull it out and bend the nails. The nails will bend and away you go. So that's what I've done. I've got it where I want it. Now I'm going to run 2 screws up through the bottom to lock it in place. I've got my sill installed and I've got the studs installed. I'm about 1/16 out of square only on this side, so I'm really good with what I got going on. I'm now ready. I've got this paneling nailed to the stud and these studs on the inside, so it's ready to cut out. Let's get it cut out of there. There's actually 3 layers of paneling here. I guess if you don't like what you got, you just put the paneling over the paneling. It's pretty thick, so hey, I'm good with it. That's what the room looks like now. That's how it looked when it started life. Or the first remodel. Let's see what it looked like. Looked like some old nasty cork board. I got my electrical wire pulled, and now I'm headed on to insulation. Once I get this insulation in, then I will be getting the builder board back on. It's been a long day. I'm not done yet though. I've got the insulation in, I'm ready to get this builder board back on. Typically the insulation would be stapled to the studs on the inside, but since the inside isn't open, I don't have that opportunity. This is better than nothing. It won't fall out. It's going to stay in place. It might sag a little bit. That's the whole reason for fastening it, is to keep it from sagging. Also, I just wanted to point out that the paper on the inside of the insulation goes towards the inside of the house. That is your vapor barrier. That's in case any moisture gets in the insulation, that blocks it from getting into the inside wall. I'm going to get this builder board back on. I'm going to be using 1.5-inch roofing nails to put that back in place. Before I start installing this builder board, I want to measure my studs from one solid point that I can get measurements from each and every time and be accurate to each and every stud, so that I know exactly where to put my nails. All right, a few more nails and we'll be home. I'm almost ready for the window. I just have to put these nailers on, and this is for the vertical siding that I'm going to be putting on, and then the window will attach to that and my siding will come right up underneath the window like it's supposed to. So a few more minutes I'll have these on, then the window's going in. The time has arrived. What I want to do is just lift up on it slightly so that there's enough room for expansion. I'm using 2-inch SPAC screws, flatheads. I'm going to put my level on here, make sure it's level, and screw it in. It's looking really good, guys. Before I put any more screws, I just want to check and make sure the window opens and closes nicely. Oh, that's nice. Finish putting these screws in and we're good. The last thing I need to do is put on the flashing tape. I'm just using some 3-inch flashing tape. It sticks really good and it works really nice. So as soon as we get that on, this window is dried in and ready for weather. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I don't want to pull it all off at once. And I'm going to leave enough stick out so that the side piece comes over the top of it. And you want to make sure you get it under there real nice. If there's any wrinkles, they still stick really good. And just give it a nice press down. Next are the two sides. I just want to start like 2 inches above the window. The whole idea is that the side overlaps the bottom. That way any water running down has no chance to go underneath this bottom tape. The top piece is last, and it needs to overlap the entirety so that no water can get behind the pieces down the side. There we have it. That's all we got for this time. If you enjoyed yourself, click on one of those two videos that are going to pop up right there. And we'll see you soon.